right, guys, welcome. This is another, and I'll call this a special edition of the running journey, even though Marty disagrees with that term. This is special because we have three special guests all doing a marathon tomorrow, the Manitoba Marathon, the biggest and best race in Manitoba. Quick shout out to the Manitoba Marathon. Yes. I'll double check to make sure this is recording, but it would suck if it wasn't. Yeah, no, it's recording. So Charlie, you've done this race.
This will be my fourth time.
Fourth time. I think it's also my fourth time. Marty, you have one marathon under your belt.
Yeah.
The arguably sub 4, arguably not sub 4. 4:01. Okay.
Round down, right?
Round down. Always round down.
Always, yeah.
So didn't make it, but my goal was 4. But yeah, now I'm excited for this one.
Grant, first ever marathon?
First marathon.
First marathon. You're nervous. When did you? Okay. Now, first off, Phil, first marathon?
Yeah.
First marathon. Phil,
So that's really, let's pause a second here. First marathon is a really special event. So really, you guys enjoy it because it's going to be like probably one of the best feelings you're going to get in running. First marathon.
It is true. Do you remember your first marathon?
Yeah.
Like it was yesterday.
Well, yeah.
The pain.
Yeah, it was a lot of pain.
The end.
The pain, the end, the agony,
But finishing it, then at the end, it's like a surreal feeling when you finish it. So you guys will get to experience that tomorrow, I'm sure.
I hadn't even thought of that.
So yeah,
That's important.
Go ahead.
That's what I was saying. Charlie, you're very good at bringing perspective to this. So take it all in tomorrow is what Charlie said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it all in tomorrow. Enjoy it. Let's talk training first. I want to talk goals. I want to talk training, and I want to talk concerns, worries about tomorrow. Let's start goals real quick. I'll run through you guys. Do you guys have goals? Marty, do you have a goal for tomorrow?
Yeah. I just want to, at the end of it, I just want to feel like I went all out. Basically, that's it.
It's a great goal, actually. I feel like you gave the best possible time for that day.
Yeah.
Best
And what time does that mean?
At least
Kidding.
3:45.
There's going to be some conditions, and who knows? Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Like, if you don't make your time, it's still, you just got to look at it like it's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. I feel like when you're too focused on a time goal, I think it can take away from your being just in the moment and doing your best to kind of just try doing what needs to, like, just being, pacing, all that stuff, thinking about everything.
Especially at first.
Yeah.
Charlie and I are pacing. You've heard about us talk about this at length on the podcast. I'm doing 3:45. Charlie's doing 3:50. Where do you want to start tomorrow?
Start with you.
Start with me. Do you think there's a chance you might have like a 3:39 in you or something? Like
Maybe.
that? Do you think there's a chance?
I hope so.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance you might have like a 3:30?
Sure. No.
No. Like what would be
No,
like
'cause
your absolute stretch goal? You think that you'd be euphoric?
Plus under 3:40.
3:40 would be like, wow, I qualified for Boston type thing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
40 minutes off.
Yeah, because I mean that's a big 20-minute gain in a short period of time. Grant, your first marathon?
Yeah.
So goals. Have you thought of goals?
Yeah, I've been reflecting on it the last week because I think I've been so fixated on this like 3:45. That's probably goal number one, like top, like everything goes well. That's awesome. But the more I've thought about it, I kind of want to try and set that back a little bit because I don't want to lose the satisfaction in just finishing if things don't go well.
Such wisdom.
Yeah. So just stick with you and that's the other thing I've been trying to think about too is like, would love to get into that is like aid stations and stuff like that, like what we should be thinking about. Cause I know we did the CMV a couple weeks ago. I was shocked at how hard it was to take in water on the run from a cup because anything else I'd done before, it was either 5K races, so no aid stations. The trail race I did, I had my flasks on me and that was different.
What were you drinking? Like gin, rye?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Extra strength, Navy grade gin. No, they had scratch at the race, and I had another kind of liquid IV as well. So
the trail runners, they like their scratch.
Yeah. Go scratch.
it's just another one of those like electrolyte kind
No,
of
but
drinks. And it's got carbs in it.
Carbs.
It's like homemade Gatorade, basically.
But with carbs. More carbs.
Half gel.
It'd be like
So you can put like when I did my Ironman, I put like 600 calories in a cup.
you have 600 calories and like we get 20 per scoop, right? Grams of carbs.
Yeah.
So if we put 10 scoops, we get 200 grams of carbs in one water bottle. So like that's like
Something like
that's like 5 Cliff Bars.
Or gels, probably.
Yeah, no, like 1 scoop is a gel, or no, not quite.
Yeah.
A gel's 100.
22 grams in a scoop, I think.
Yeah.
Of carbs.
22 grams in a gel is 29 and 100 calories.
Okay, what should we be bringing?
Okay, wait.
With
Wait, let's.
I'll get to that.
I've got a number of thoughts
Charlie's got
on
a
nutrition.
set list.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to Phil's goal, I want to point out how important I think it is what you said, because anyone who completes a marathon, first of all, anyone who finishes a marathon, like that's unbelievable. And then next, if you're able to somehow break 4 hours in a marathon, you're in the elite
First time, yeah.
class. And then if you're able to do it on your first time, so
I didn't get it.
I'm glad you're saying this comment, because if had you only said it at 3:45 and you'd be like, oh, I did 3:52, what a disappointing day. No, that's an unbelievable accomplishment. You have to wear it with pride.
I haven't been running for a year yet, too. So, and I've been trying to kind of remind myself of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
been a good year.
that's amazing. Yeah.
So whatever happens tomorrow, unless they take you out on a stretcher, and even then, that means you probably went pretty hard. You should be proud, because you got to the start line. As Marlene Bigato would say, you got to the start line. You got up that day, you put your shoes on, you trained to be there. Phil, goals? By the way, these are all members of our run club, Run with Rob Run Club, Saturday morning. Soon to be
Give the address.
starting on Wednesday, by the way.
I heard.
Yeah, you heard who?
I heard like somewhere.
Sammy?
It's out there. Yeah.
I talked to Sammy about
I
it.
was in the grocery store.
Wednesdays is a 5K though.
No, Wednesday's the 10K.
Oh wow.
Evening or morning?
Evening.
I don't run. So.
Just
kidding. I joined.
Because I think in the summer, a lot of people go to the lake and whatever. And I specifically want to do it for Sammy, because Sammy has told me he wants to come run with us, but his wife's got a yoga class or something. This sounds like a chirp, but it's not. It's something that's more important than Sammy running.
Daddy duty on Saturday.
Yeah, daddy duty on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Plus, Danny and those guys have talked about maybe doing a midweek run. So I'm aiming Wednesday. We're going to start it after the Manitoba Marathon. Maybe we'll do like an 8K. Or maybe we'll have something different, like a race, like a tempo or I don't know, something.
Track workout.
No, not there yet. We're not there yet. It'll probably just be a 10K. Wednesday night 10K, 7 o'clock. And we're going to meet at Marty's house.
No, we're gonna meet at the corner of these Intrépides and
Yeah. Not my house.
it's
Phil, last year you did 4 halves with me in basically a week and a bit, 2 on the same day. So that was close to a marathon experience, but I'd say a lot more painful and different, because you got to think about it all day. You did an 8 a.m. and then you did a 4 p.m. half. And then you came back, did one a few days later, and then you did another one a few days later. You've been training a lot. What are your goals?
Well, this is my redemption for that day of doing 2 in 1 day,
Redemption.
because I felt as though I didn't finish the second one, and so this is my,
Someone's hard on
this
himself.
has been in my head
about it
since for a
since,
year now as my redemption for that day. So yeah, kind of like what Grant said, from what I've been able to read the last month, reading other people's experience, whatever. If you just have one goal, you're going to have a bad time. So 3:45, 3:54 is kind of my ABC.
Yeah.
I think, being honest, I think if I have a sub 4, I almost rather not finish, overly exhaust myself and not finish than have a sub 4, just based on how my mentality is.
Because you would think,
I would feel as though I failed if I'm crawling to the finish.
yes. So
On a
that's
sub 4,
that's
and
not.
I'd rather just leave it all out there and take me off on a stretch, like you said. But I think that's I think I'm gonna have a hard time not achieving that. I've been super positive vibes and building up my confidence and focusing on the good for the last 2 weeks. I'm not even thinking about not finishing. I'm not thinking about. I know that things can go wrong, but I'm focusing on the positive.
Charlie's got this line about marathons.
marathons are hard.
Marathons are hard.
I've been listening to a podcast.
5 days are hard. 5 days are hard. Triathlons are hard.
So it's hard. It's as hard as you make it.
Sorry, to put out an all-out effort in any types of events, to put out the best that you got is going to be hard.
I wouldn't be disappointed, Phil. You trained a ton. If you get there, it's a hot day. Maybe the wind's in your face. You end up doing a great time. You end up doing a 3:54. You know, some stuff's out of your control. You get a bit of a cramp, whatever. You don't hydrate as much. That's still a great day.
That would still be like awesome. I'm talking like 4:15. You know, like over 4, like that. That to me is like I need to view that as a failure in order to motivate myself to get my goal. You know what I mean?
That's internally. That's how
Yeah.
you work.
Yeah.
By the way, we won 2 races, Charlie, in the podcast. First time we ever win a race.
Yeah. Curly.
I won the race with Curly.
Yeah.
Curly, this award-winning dog right here. Winning race-winning dog right here.
He's like 500 dogs.
Yeah, 500 dogs he won, first place. Definitely Phil is ready to be hard on himself. Holy
Well,
smokes.
because it's kind of like that. You know, the day
Grand
that
Tour.
I did the 2 halves,
That was not a failure.
but
You showed up.
But that's the thing is like the second half of the second half, right? That last 10K, like that was about as miserable as I've ever been, and as much of a failure as I've ever felt like athletically, right? And so like
but okay, so
that's
Phil,
I've
since
been
then.
hard on myself my whole life when it comes to sports, and like that's the stuff that keeps me going and makes me want to be better. So
Yeah.
that's why the last 2 weeks I've been focusing on the positive, because I can't let the negative overtake everything. But I
Yeah.
need a little bit of that chip on my shoulder to like push myself to try to be better.
I have that chip sometimes, right? Like if I a lot. If
Oh,
I don't
no,
do this,
you
I'm a
never-
failure. If
Yeah.
I don't do this, I'm a failure. Quit being a failure. Quit talking like you're a failure.
Yeah.
Get in the pool. Do more laps.
Yeah.
So I do respect that, Phil, and I do think you guys will all do well. But like, well is relative. You guys are here. You guys are, you're awesome. So let's talk. I know you guys want to talk about race strategy. Can we talk training first a little bit, and then I want to talk race strategy and you talk about gels and questions you guys have. How did training look like? I know Marty, you're doing roughly 5 jogs a week.
Yeah, I was doing 5 or 6.
What was your mileage peaked out at? Like 70K or something?
90.
90. Wow.
With the soccer game.
Yeah.
On the soccer
That was
game.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 9, let's say 9. No,
Grant,
3
you were
weeks.
around there too, I think.
Yeah, I think I had some peaks around there, but mostly like I think more like 75, 80.
Yeah, you had definitely had a stretch this
Oh, that's
this
a big number.
spring where you were doing like more miles at more intensity, I think, than
Yeah.
I remember talking to you a few times. I'm like, dude, you gotta
You
gotta
for
do
sure
some
ran
miles
faster
slower.
miles.
I actually do wish I had done like a little more volume at the start, slower,
yeah,
and then kind of peaked because I think I peaked too early.
more miles, less pace.
Yeah.
If I could make a
learned-
T-shirt, that's what it would say. More
You
miles,
learned
less
that, though.
pace.
Yeah.
Just doing it.
I was talking today. Marty and I were talking about like how I felt on that 5K today. We just ran a 5K. What do we call them? What did mini grades call it?
Activation run.
Decombobulation.
Decombobulation.
Decombobulation run.
Okay.
Trademark.
Yeah.
And I felt like the last time I was doing these loops, I just had a flashback to going as hard as I possibly could. It was a 5K like on a Tuesday morning, and like feeling like it was the hardest thing I would ever do. Like, did I need to jog that fast? Probably not, right? But that's how we all jog when we start. So that's a lot of miles, Grant. And good for you. And Phil, you're doing same mileage roughly, right? A little bit less maybe?
Yeah, I'd say four jogs a week.
But you've been consistent with your long jogs on the weekend for a long time.
Long jogs on Sundays, and then
Plus, you're doing this 10K every Saturday.
10K
You guys all do the
Saturday.
10K on Saturday, not as your long jog, obviously, just as a short.
That's why part of the long drive. You
Part of
Yeah,
the long
we've
jog?
combined it.
Yeah.
You did yours on Friday sometimes.
Because I did Fridays and then I went to Sunday. But I did one on a Saturday. That was tough because Danny pushes the pace.
Yeah.
But I did my last 10 with the group. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Danny.
No,
Danny.
what's that for? He's just too.
Beautiful stride Danny
Yeah.
does. Best stride in the group, I would say, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good stride.
No, so far that Charlie hung with me in the back.
Did you guys have periods in your training where you're like, is this worth it? Why am I doing this? Like where it was hard, or how many jogs did you skip because you just didn't feel like it? I'm not talking injuries. I'm talking like you just didn't feel like it that day.
I
You
don't
have
think
some
I ever-
days, some
I don't
tough
know-
days?
I don't think I ever skipped jogs, but I definitely shortened a few jogs just for time or not feeling it. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think I skipped many. I rearranged a lot, like moved
Yeah.
them around. During hockey season, running and playing hockey, that was tough in terms of recovery, things like that. I don't know if I'd do that the same way.
What would you change? You take the day off if you have a hockey game, or a lighter jog.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't want to play less hockey.
No. You're not giving up on the hockey.
90
I'm saying you
games.
do a 5K instead of a 10K in the morning. with
Yeah,
that
maybe.
hockey.
Yeah.
Or less
That-
pace.
I didn't do very much running in the morning, and need to do
So
more.
you were running afternoon or evening,
Yeah.
and then going right to play
noon
hockey.
or in the evening. Yeah.
I don't get evening runners, man. It's hard. It's so hard.
What do you do?
You like both?
So how
Charlie's
about-
got some questions.
How about you, Marty? Did you skip any or?
Not really. It went super well. I mean, we had injuries. I had a few things, but they kind of just went away as I ran.
So that's a good sign, guys.
Yeah, this
not-
is
not, Not a lot of people go through a whole.
Or they're lying to us, and that's okay too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I've never gone through a whole walk where I didn't miss a couple
Right,
of
I
workouts.
missed a couple short ones. Just get Rob to that. Like, don't worry if you miss like a midweek, whatever.
Well, Marty would text me like, a little sore, a little like I think I should. I'm like, take tomorrow off. If
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a 3K or I think you had a 6K
What would,
that one.
what would coach say?
Patrick would say, take to, and
And then you'd be mad.
I'd be mad. I'm not taking tomorrow off. And then sometimes I would just take it off, and he'd go, "Oh, I'm glad you did this." And now I'm way more likely to take
this
days
week.
off.
This week I took like my first 2 days off.
Yeah, you were sick. You said on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, you are supposed to be tapering for a marathon. Anyways, that's great determination, guys. I really am excited about how you guys are going to do well. So, Grant, you had some questions about race day, and then Charlie had some questions about pacing. I'll let you guys. Grant, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think, well, all of us, goal is that 3:45 is that top goal. And I was just thinking about, like, I think you're planning on going consistent, like, same pace all the way through. And I was
Yeah.
just thinking that for us, like, I don't know if you were the same way both of you at the CMV, like trying to take in fluids at the aid stations. Like, to me, walking was much more efficient.
I'm going to
lose
slow it down a little
Yeah.
bit.
Slow it down. And then the other thing too is just that I think you guys talk about it quite a bit on the podcast is the whole negative split thing.
Yeah.
Do we stick with you for the first half and then try and just kind of, ease into a slightly faster pace for the second half? Not only to kind of, if we've got the energy to be able to give ourselves a buffer to.
Yeah. So on that, I would say like depends on where your fitness is at. So if you think your realistic number is slightly faster than 3:45, then I think ideally you want to start at about that 3:45, especially if it's your first marathon. I'll say it again, but marathons are hard. So your first marathon, you're always better off there than going too slow, guaranteed. Because if ever you're feeling good by the end, and you guys put a lot of miles in, so you guys this might happen to you guys, where at the end you're like, okay, I can go harder.
Most people, it doesn't happen.
Most people, it's the opposite. Your first marathon, especially, if the mile 20 is where you kind of have to turn on the mental switch there. But I would say, if you think you're gonna you have the potential of going under 3:45, then I'd say start at 3:45, and then if you're feeling it, then maybe start speeding up about halfway through. But just go by feel, I think. But always err on conservative. That's the.
I think, like, in California, I think it was just too fast. Like, I don't know, maybe it would have been better to floor to start because we had a couple fast ones.
Yeah, we had built a cushion.
And it was like the nice first half.
Yeah.
It was like 157.
And the
which is
wind.
Really good for me.
The win
The wind was against us.
against us on the way back. I had not factored that in at
It
all.
wasn't a lot of wind, but it
No. It was a lot of wind, Marty.
30
On the ocean, right in your face.
It hurt.
No
And I
barriers.
think it was like slightly uphill. It was like barely uphill, but it felt it.
No, that was had Charlie been pacing you that day, he would have looked at the wind. He would have looked at the uphill. He would have figured it out, and he would have been.
Yeah,
slower.
so this one's a tough one with Manitoba here because it's going to be downwind the first half, or the first 10 miles are going to be downwind, and then you're going to be against the wind for all the way down Portage, and then it kind of switches. The wind actually switches to not. It's going to switch on the way back as coming from the west, so it means that you could potentially have a strong wind to help, or you could potentially have a wind directly in your back for the first 10 miles, and then more of a side wind on the way back.
Do we start in Saint Vital or do we finish in Saint Vital? We
Start
start
in Saint Vital.
Okay, so it's the reverse course,
Yeah. We're pretty much straight north.
all the way to Portage, pretty much.
Yeah, all the way to Portage, and then west, and then kind of then back southeast.
East.
well, southeast. Like you're going to be north, then a bit west,
Yeah.
back southeast.
Back to your question about pacing, Grant. I mean, if I would know that all I had in my group was you three tomorrow, Charlie and I talked about this. I'd do like a minute negative, and I would try to get you guys to the finish line. So I'd do like a one, whatever equivalent of that would be for the first half, 153,
Like a minute slower on the first half.
30 seconds and 30 seconds kind of thing, or maybe a minute and a minute.
So it's not a big.
Yeah, we're talking small numbers.
You're not talking per mile. You're talking like
In total.
Like
Total.
2 seconds.
So it's like barely. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you the best split is either like exactly. Like you can't go wrong if you're exactly the same pace the whole way. Like that.
But even you believe in a negative
I do
split
believe
is better than
psychologically that it's easier to do a negative to get your PR, but even split, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Plus, you're gonna be. It's kind of like a little bit like Boston in that the first half will be easier. So you might like my plan actually as a pacer was to like get those 846s, which is gonna be like 10 seconds under for the first half.
Yeah.
And then just 846 the other way.
that. So to hit 846 the entire way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but on the point of hydration, to me, that's going to be absolutely critical for you guys tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and talk about how the CMB aid stations aren't like tomorrow.
Yeah, CMB state.
But without chirping.
Was it the wrong cups or something?
No, it's just so. I'll go through it for you guys. So it's going to be kind of hot, a little bit maybe warmer than your usual, what you're used to. I mean, I know you guys run a lot of evenings, so that should help you out. But either way, it's going to be hot. So like, we need to get water in. Like, get us. So don't try to be like. Don't worry about being fast in the aid stations. Your first marathon, just make sure if you have to walk for a couple steps and don't bend down, like take the time because you're gonna hydration is gonna be the key for you finishing strong. So hydration and then maybe mix it up with some Gatorade in there. And then,
It's way more than you think.
it's way more than you think, especially in this heat. Like just basically like I was doing at Boston, I was doing 2 cups plus one over my head. I think that's kind of the minimum of what you guys should be doing.
But remember the last
every station.
so there's every 2 miles for the first 16, I think,
Yeah.
and then every mile the last 10.
Yeah.
So every mile the last 10, you might kind of feel bloated at some point. If you're bloated,
But if you want to just slow down,
skip one or
Yeah.
slow down, whatever. It's not a big deal.
But I think it's to get on that right from the beginning because
How much are you drinking pre-race?
so
Like in
yeah.
the morning?
You wanna-
So the big problem is for me and Rob is that we often have to pee during the race. We're a bit older, but so I cut my
hour and a half before.
I cut it 2 even 3 hours before all hydration, just so I don't have to pee. And then to me, it's easier to once you're on the course, just drink lots as you go. But it's the day before. Like today you
All
should
water all day.
water, but not just water, also with electrolytes. So, because if you just drink water, it's just going to go straight through. So you need a bit of electrolytes.
What are you suggesting for electrolytes, like Gatorade?
Just add some salt to your food
Add
or
some salt to your food.
Gatorade. Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing I do want to get back to this walking the aid station thing. And sorry, Phil, what did you just ask about?
I just asked about hydration pre-race.
Pre-race. I want to get back to that in a second because I want to get pre-race routine.
Yeah.
But back to the aid stations. So remember how at the CMB Canada half, these are awesome volunteers and they're all my staff and friends. But they've never really volunteered and we didn't like push them into like a strategy for holding cups and stuff. But the cups will be held, like they'll be out like this. And what I would suggest doing, there'll be a lot of people, pick your water that you want, point to it.
Yeah.
They'll know the kid or the volunteer or whoever it is will know it's you. Point to it. They will extend, and then you can kind of do it as you're walking, or as you're maybe take a few steps slow, and then just take it so that there's no argument about who's getting it because there'll be way way more people in the CME Canada half, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure how that. I know I don't really remember because it's been a while, but I know I used to I'd walk at my first 4 marathons. I would walk at every water station to make sure I got my water in.
So the instructions we received from Manitoba Marathon Pacing
Yeah.
was walk every aid station.
Yeah, I think that I will do that because I think it's going to be absolutely critical for everyone to get their water in.
Yeah.
And
At least the first 2 or 3, and then okay, guys, we'll take it. We'll just slow it down a bit for this
yeah,
station.
I think I'm going to walk each one.
You just have to worry about the timing, right? Because that means
Yeah, I just don't want to be in the way of people.
Plus, you have to run faster now when you're not running.
Yeah, but it's like
I'm just saying.
yeah.
You're
But it's like 2 seconds of walk, right? Basically. So yeah. Anyways.
Sneak up on that sheep.
Huh?
You don't like stopping and walking. So.
Yeah, Charlie.
It's okay to walk.
It's okay to
Stop
walk.
at a light.
Yeah, Charlie likes stopping at lights. I prefer not to stop at lights.
Yeah, I prefer. Actually, it's more like I don't like running into traffic.
Who was leading us last week and almost got killed? That was you, Paul. We almost got killed.
I was just trying to
It
get
feels
away
like
from
too
Marty.
bad.
I was just trying to get away from Marty at that point.
Okay, so 8 stations. Yeah, so there might be like water in the front gate or in the back. Do we know yet?
I'm not sure.
We will find out for you guys. Usually it's water in the front gate area in the back. And I would start by like alternating at a minimum, or if you can get both,
Yeah.
like one. Because the thing is, you get like 2 ounces, and you're not going to drink all of that because you're going to miss and it's going to splash. And so I would maybe do both at the first, and then for water, you asked about drinking before. Let's talk about morning strategy, race morning strategy. Charlie, what do you usually do?
Well,
Races at 7 a.m.
yeah, it's kind of early, so I don't really change much. I'm just gonna try to get as much sleep as I can. Wake up at 5.
You have a change. For people who are watching and have no idea what you do on your first marathon,
Yeah. So
what time
yeah,
do you get up?
I'll wake up at 5. I think for this one, just because it depends on the race, right? Because they always have different times, so I kind of strategize each one
Yeah.
independently.
So tell us this one.
This one, I'm gonna wake up at 5 just because I think that's, and then I'll immediately have maybe 2 bowls of
2
bowls of what's it called? Oatmeal, yeah.
2, eh?
And a cup of coffee. Make sure I get
Black coffee.
make sure I take care of business.
That's a deuce.
Yeah, that's
So you just take a deuce,
Yeah.
crush a deuce.
Yeah, you gotta crush it just before, or else you don't want to do it during the race. And then I will also down some water when I wake up, but then
Yeah,
that's
that's
it. I'm done. And then so water, coffee, oatmeal, juice. And head to the
So I
race.
do usually like 4, 5, or 6 oatmeals.
Oh, okay.
How
the
many
morning.
do we have in California?
Did you ever feel like it was too much?
No, you made it for me.
Yeah,
And
I
then it
put
was
strawberries or
strawberries,
bananas. Yeah,
So,
and I said, don't eat it
2
all.
hours before it.
2.5, I think we did.
We had to
Let's
hour
take an Uber.
drive.
So I like a little bit more, but whatever. Everyone's different. I'd say at least a couple hundred calories, at least 40, 50 grams of carbs. It's got to be 80 grams of carbs at least, Charlie.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna have so many gel. Like I don't want to be bloated.
Banana.
I don't want to be bloated either. So it's a fine balance. But yeah, I mean, I'd say you're better off not overeating.
And then take a banana with
in
you.
your first one, and then
You guys eat bananas? Yeah. So I'd say eat till you're full, and then take a banana or a Cliff Bar or something like that with you.
Yeah.
And continue. And then what do you do for okay, so you're not gonna drink till
I'll bring a gel with me. I'll have a gel before the race, so that's a bit more nutrition.
when do you have that? 20 minutes before?
Yeah, about 10 minutes before. You want to have it close, but you kind of don't want to stress about it either. So
Okay, so then we're leaving at 6.
6, yeah. Well, I feel like maybe we should leave a bit early.
5:45.
5:45 maybe.
Holy smokes.
5:50.
5:55.
5:55. Get to the start line at 6:30, just because we're pacers. And-
Pacers will have our little paddles. What is it? Paddles?
Yeah, I think they're called paddles. Yeah.
And then, hey, go 5:45, 3:45, over here. Antoine Captain-Bro, Nicolas Dead, you 3. There's another guy I know. What's the other one?
So I would have thought he would have been a bit faster.
That's what he told me last time. Maybe he's, I don't know. He told me he was aiming for 3:45.
Oh, okay.
He does have some very good mileage, does. And then piss as much as you can before, obviously. Force the pisses out if you can. Because the last thing you want is, Charlie and I are brutal at this.
Well, Boston, I had a piss on mile 1.
Mile 1.
That's a rookie. That's such a rookie mistake.
You're the only person in the entire Boston Marathon to use that protocol.
No, I saw a couple
I
of
know.
people do it.
I think you're nervous too.
No, it's honestly, it was just a different situation where I was not able to piss right before the race.
It was a stressful morning.
Yeah.
This won't be that stressful.
Yeah,
So-
but okay, as a pacer now, that's a different thing. I'm gonna have to.
Well, if I have to piss, the instructions were clear. No peas.
Yeah.
Then if I have to piss, what do you want me to do?
It says that on the.
It says
I didn't
that.
see any.
No piss breaks. Yeah. There's an instruction email that went out this week,
I didn't see that.
or maybe last week or this week.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously,
forward me that. I don't
Marty, if
You're
you three are still
Piss
with me
dogs.
and I have to piss, I'll just be like, keep going, guys. I'll be right back.
Just
Piss,
give him the stick.
Give you the stick. Give you the paddle, I'll be right back. I will not be doing what that girl was doing in LA for sure. Fuck my life. Okay, so gels. There are no gels on the course, or are there? I don't even know.
I think there might be some. Yeah.
Are you guys planning on bringing gels with you?
Yeah, I think I'm bringing my own.
You're gonna bring like 6?
That's it.
Maybe 5.
So every 30, 40 minutes? What
6 or 7.
do you do, Charlie? 8?
Well, I did 8 at Boston. I did one every 5
This will
days.
be less.
But yeah, I'm just doing 5.
So you guys are gonna carry them in your little belt or there? Phil, are you doing gels? Yeah. And then water you're gonna drink every mile. Peas you're gonna try not to pee. And then I wanted to ask you guys about, Charlie, your this concept of first marathon, not knowing. Marty was asking me, like, how do I know when I'm good to go? How do I know when I can like start increasing the pace? What would you say to somebody who would ask you that, Charlie?
Don't do it until you're sure. So,
How do you know when you're sure?
well, you'll know.
You'll know.
So that's what I'm saying is, like, if you're debating it, then don't do it. Like, if there's any doubt in your mind, don't do it, because. So in other words, you're probably waiting till mile 21, 22 before that's even.
I said my answer was comparable, but was just do it very slow.
Yeah,
a few seconds. a
micro
mile.
adjustments, just adjust by like 1 or 2 seconds if you are gonna. If you're like, okay, on the fence, I think I can maybe do it. Then just adjust by a small amount.
See you, Rob. I'm going.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you don't want to see you, Rob. I'm going, and then Rob passes you in the
Yeah.
pace.
I don't want. It's the balance, right?
And the other thing you don't want is to get to mile 24, 25 and be like, well, what the heck? I got all this energy. Which that's never
That's
happened.
never happened to anyone doing their first marathon. It may have happened, but it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
I think by the time you get through 20 and 21, I'd say is if you get to 21 and you still feel good, well, you've done it. Congrats. Like you trained,
So on my best marathon ever, the one that we used,
which one, LA?
the one we qualified for Boston with,
Yeah.
I consider my best marathon performance wise.
254.
I made a move at 17, but that was
I was doing 6-minute miles.
Yeah.
And you left me.
well. Yeah.
Sticking what? How?
Yeah.
So demoralized.
So, but that's rare that you're. That's like it's rare that you're in that. Yeah, you're better off to wait. Is what I would say.
Okay. So I think we'll talk about it a lot. Would you recommend using heart rate? I would as one of the indicators.
Yeah, I mean it depends on.
Like,
how,
have you-
It depends on how familiar you are with.
Do you have heart rate on it?
With
Yeah,
your heart
but
rate.
You don't trust it?
I know how.
You know how you feel.
Yeah.
Like you've done what were your guys' long runs here in the last couple of weeks? Or sorry, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, my long run set counts is.
You did a 30, didn't you? 36?
Yeah, my longest was 36, but it was more than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was probably 4 or 5.
Okay. You did something.
I did it 30. I did 33 weeks ago, and I did a 38. That was my longest run. And then I kind of built up again.
Yeah.
But that's like, I'm gonna use that experience to base my pace. Is like I was able to maintain my pace through I think 36 of those 38 kilometers, and then I was starting to struggle a little bit, and so I want to just like stay the pace to 38, and then at 38, if I'm starting to struggle or struggling, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to try to maintain that pace. If I feel great, then maybe I'll try to speed up a little bit.
I honestly don't think there's much
I don't
to
think there's
the
any
last
chance.
2 miles. There's no thinking. You're gonna just go all out naturally. Do you agree, Charlie?
I mean,
I don't think you have to worry about
it. Unless you're wrong.
But if you're bonked, you're gonna do what you can still.
Yeah, I know. I walked half. My first
Yeah.
marathon, I walked half.
But that's what I mean. Pacing's out the window.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think one
19 to 23 are the ones
yeah,
you guys have.
I
to
think
worry
a good cue for the beginning is like wherever you think you should be running, go like 15 seconds slower.
about. Especially the first mile when everyone's gonna go like crazy.
I would
I'm
say
gonna
even like
hold
the
you guys
first,
back.
even like the first, like let's say you didn't have a pacer. I would say the feeling you want to have is, okay, this is how fast I think I can hold for 26 miles. Okay, I'm gonna go 15 seconds slower than that
Per mile, so 10 per kilometer.
But that's yeah. I mean I think that would work.
Look at these calves.
Yeah.
Holy monster calves. Great. Wow. Okay, we've covered training, race day. Anything else on your mind for race day for tomorrow? Marty, I'm picking you up.
Yep.
Is that too early? Pick you up, then pick Charlie up?
Yep.
Zoom said,
Well, can I just meet you here?
yeah, if you want. Oh, shit.
Well,
I'm
we're-
not coming back.
We're going straight.
Shit, no. I'm not coming back after.
Yeah, but I've got. I think my parents and my wife are coming anyway, so they could.
Yeah, I mean, what about Marty?
Okay.
Yeah?
All of you look like
Okay.
We'll go together.
I'm gonna come around from the other south side.
You guys check a bag.
No.
Also, you're gonna walk down the streets.
Are you checking it back?
I was gonna come like, maybe down to the house.
Like, what do you think you'll want right after the race? Well, because it's not going to be cold. Rain, maybe? Like food or like,
Right after the race?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
like my car will be 10 minutes away, right?
Yeah.
Sandals.
Like, you're going to walk back to the car. You're going to want your shoes for that.
Get like shorts, your shirt.
Hey, check it if you want.
No, not the
Or
Yeah,
actually, no, I don't even need to. I can set shit with my parents
Yeah.
and everything. Bring it.
Your parents are coming to the finish line? Isn't that nice? How about you, Grant? Any support?
No, they're not gonna make it. That's okay.
Lisa, have you phone? No, they don't
No.
think. My family doesn't even know it or whatever. They don't even know. Like, I went and I did a triathlon last week, and I came back like, what did you have? I said, I had the Birch Hill triathlon. Oh, how did it go? Not so good. I shit the bed. Okay. Anything else, Charlie? You guys?
You take your gels before you start to feel hungry.
No, don't even think about.
Take them. Take them on a schedule.
Decide what your schedule is and
Take them.
follow it. Because you won't feel.
You're not gonna think you need it.
It's like at CMV, my plan was to take 3. I gave one to Zach, so I had 2. So I was gonna take one at 7 and 14K, and then I started getting hungry at like 6, so I
That's
took
not
them right
good.
away. So you want to take them before.
You shouldn't be like feeling.
You should
hungry.
never feel hungry again.
That's not. We're open. That means you
Well, I
didn't eat
didn't
enough.
eat much that morning.
Yeah. So,
So
like, is there a downside to eating? What's the worst thing that can happen if you eat 50 grams of carbs too much? You'll be a little stint maybe for the first mile.
Yeah, it could cause you stomach problems.
If it's way
where
too
you
much.
have to either go to the bathroom.
But it won't digest quick enough.
Yeah, I mean,
It shouldn't.
but yeah.
Eat a bit more than you ate at CMB.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to feel hungry. Like
at
that's
CMV, I had a muffin.
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna have.
No. You're
You're
going
gonna
to
pull my jeans, not doing that.
yeah.
But
But you're used to running.
good.
Yeah. So I guarantee you would have felt better had you.
Oh yeah. But I was like,
So you're gonna do. Let's say you do 5
crazy.
gels,
It's crazy.
and it's I don't know
Like I think I'm gonna
220
I was gonna
minutes.
do it every like 3.5 miles.
Okay.
That was kind of my plan.
Yeah, that's Charlie Boston strategy, right? You're doing 4 miles.
I did one every 5K.
That's a lot, but you won't be
So-
hungry.
So
That feels like a
I
lot.
think it's like 6.
Feels like
it
a
gets
lot.
Me, it gets me 6.
So put the gels.
I got the GU blackberry.
Jeez, I like mine. What do you?
Carbs, that's it.
It's
There's like
28.
no
20 grams again.
22 grams.
Moi, j'ai des maple
More?
syrup.
The 27.
The Morton or the
Maple
Jeez?
syrup. C'est
GU.
You're just drinking maple
It's
syrup.
just drinking maple syrup?
Maple syrup with salt.
Gave me one on the CMV. It was
That's
good.
so good. Anyway, parce que Jews, après la race, j'ai comme dairy.
Yeah, you're gonna get the shits.
J'aime pas
It's
ça.
a small
So-
price to pay.
So these things don't.
Actually, I've never had the shits, but I've heard people have a hard time with it.
Anyway, I've been training with them. Like,
Yeah, so yeah, the key there is use something you're used to.
Do something you're used to, and yeah. So you're gonna do those. You're doing GUs
I
or
got to use, yeah.
Not lemon lime.
Not lemon lime.
not flavor? Like you're sure?
I like
Yeah.
the strawberry vanilla ones.
I got the
Sorry.
espresso ones. I like that.
Did I had a chocolate one? Check out. No, I don't. This is not supposed. No.
Thick chocolate
Yeah,
pudding.
it's
yeah,
like
it wasn't. But
Remember when we were running in the winter? How
They would freeze.
no, they were like really hard. Like
Yeah.
you would like, and now it's like it's kind of they go down really easy. I thought.
Sorry, what are you saying?
So my point is, I thought they were really bad this winter. Like they were hard to take
yeah,
in.
because they were frozen.
But now that
True.
it's summer, they're so easy to take.
Yeah, they're too warm.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
it's borderline gross.
Yeah.
No, it is gross.
Definitely.
Lots of water. Make sure you get the gels in. Stick to your pacer. Listen to your body. Enjoy the day. Be in the moment. Charlie, anything else?
Run in the shade
Oh yeah, take the shade when you can.
and run the tangents.
Run the tangents. Don't feel bad about running the tangents. Easy continues.
Yeah.
Cut, not
So
cut.
wherever you see the next turn in the
take the
distance,
inside lane
in
all
the
the time.
distance is, go straight to that corner.
So if there's an S, take the inside and the inside again. Might not feel like much, but it's always like 0.1 or 0.2 every marathon.
If you cross the finish line, watch says under 42.2.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
That's not gonna happen.
that's never ever happened for me in a marathon.
Yeah,
Never,
This time I stopped.
Oh yeah, sorry, it did happen in New York because it didn't record my distance under the bridge.
With the weaving, you're always doing extra.
Yeah.
Think of every time you go around someone, right? You're adding a meter.
California, we started so far back
Oh my god.
that we passed.
What happened again? We
Thousands.
got there late?
We just didn't care about
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
being
well,
in the front, right?
yeah. Ended up being
Well, it's like
When
when
I'm
we
standing up 95
yeah.
hour
Wave
guys.
five, yeah.
it's like when we did the Tucson one. Remember we were the last ones to start.
Yeah.
Took a piss at the start.
Yeah. At the Fredericton, I was also the last one to start. It's a pain to get through the people.
Comme on a commencé comme 5 minutes avant les premières personnes.
We started in
Because
LA.
it's so full, yeah.
No, we were way at the. There were 5 waves,
Yeah.
right?
But it felt like 5 minutes at least, like, right? The Manitoba commencé.
Oh yeah. Our gun time and our trip time. Yeah. We saw people go, and what were we still pissing or something? We just didn't care.
I took an extra deuce
That's right.
just to make sure.
Yeah.
That's a
Which
good
is great.
idea.
I didn't
Which
stop
is
once.
good
to-
advice.
That's like I take every friggin' 2 minutes to
Yeah.
pee, but
Well,
we gotta catch up.
just keep going.
And then
Just
I
keep
hear
going.
I hear the Nikes.
Oh, what are you guys wearing tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Shoot.
The Meta Speeds.
Ooh.
Meta Speeds. Those are relatively new.
Yeah.
You like
Can't
them?
wait to
20K
see.
in the
Can't
row.
wait to see those in
Nice.
action.
Grant, you got a new pair of
New Balance BC Elites.
yeah carbon plate, obviously cheater shoes.
Maybe Phil.
Meta Speeds.
Phil saw me get them, so he's like, he was debating a watch or shoes, right?
Yeah.
I think shoes. is
Get
better.
going.
Oh, the shoes make you faster. The watch does.
Exactly.
Charlie, what are you going with?
Old Faithful, my original Alpha,
Alpha Fly 2.
500 miles. Yep.
I'm wearing my Old Faithfuls, Alpha Fly ones.
Yeah.
Fastest shoes on the planet, I believe. All right. Well, anything else, guys? Carpe diem.
Let's go.
Oh, what are you guys eating today?
I would just eat a lot. Don't like change your diet too much, and just make sure you have maybe a little bit more carbs tonight. Is that what you would say, Charlie? Like, don't change too much.
Yeah. Try to have a high concentration of carbs
Yeah.
in your dinner.
I had
Some
a
salt.
full pizza at like 4:00 or 3:30 the day before the CMV half,
And you would full.
and I felt awesome. That run, I felt so good.
I don't think I could have that much.
Yeah,
I
I think that's early enough. I think
Fire
that's
back a
early
pizza
enough,
this
right?
afternoon.
Yesterday I could eat. Yesterday I ate like
And it wasn't like a greasy pizza. It was at Niagara Golf Course, like at the
Okay.
restaurant.
I
Like, it was
Fancy pizza.
yeah, fancy.
I feel like if I have too much fat the day before, that's not good.
Yeah, don't have a steak.
I don't
So-
eat meat, so
just have 8
So
burritos.
yeah,
9
lots of
burritos,
carbs. Lots of carbs.
9 tacos.
Tacos. Tacos,
simple.
LA. We just ate tacos like they were
Wait,
going
what's
out
it
of
take?
town.
Marty, you have no. Just eat whatever you want. You have no limit. Fromage, whatever you want.
And you're
We
like,
got
I know, Rob.
donuts,
I know.
Donuts, tacos, whatever. It was awesome.
I was trying to just make you realize that
The Rob
you'll
Ball.
need all of this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Plus, you're a light eater, I think,
No.
with less than
Hey, je mange pas comme I'm full. I don't eat it.
yeah. So I was like, eat till you're full.
Right.
And then for me, when I would do Ironman, I'd always have 2 full meals of pasta, usually the night before. And even my big marathons, I think I would do that.
Yeah, I think you want to eat as much as you can. That
So you're full.
that it won't
but not different.
that it won't like that you won't feel like full the next day, right?
Don't go eat something you never eat, but eat stuff that you believe that you know you're going to like and digest well, and more of it. That is carb heavy. Pasta's safe. Like I used to just, back in the day, I used to just craft dinner. A bunch of craft dinner and some cut up chicken.
I love my
protein.
mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
before
Well, we've kind of done a thing where our races will do the mashed potatoes, the chicken breast, the broccoli, rice, and pasta.
salad.
That
Rice
is
and pasta.
yeah, it's just carbs and a bit of chicken. Even the broccoli is pretty heavy carbs. That fiber. Someone told me, "No, you shouldn't be doing broccoli before." Too much fiber.
Carb is, no, you have to tell you.
Stick a can the next day.
I'm the most regular guy in the history of the planet. That's it. I'm fine. All right, well, this is it then.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the stories of your first marathon.
Yes.
And second marathon.
It's going to be awesome. Manitoba Marathon tomorrow. Let's go. Another edition of the Running Journey. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, write us a review. We need it. We need all the help we can get. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video.